Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a really lovely week. I've been off work this week. That's my second week. Richard had to go back to work Monday, so I've been left home alone. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. We've had quite a few new subscribers come over, so thank you very much. I'm very grateful. I've got not much knitting today. Oh, let me tell you who I am. I'm Diane, I'm yewtree.yarncraft, and I'm coming to you from Walsall in the West Midlands, where I live with my partner Richard. I've got a little knitting. We went to the Southern Wool Show last Saturday, so I've got my my haul from there to show and share. I've got a shop update, but we'll do that at the end. There's not much there. I've been in the wars this week. I shouldn't be left home alone, really. Reaching for a pair of scissors to cut something, and they'd gone. I'd put them on the chair next to me, and I kind of reached down for them and stabbed myself in the finger, which bled forever. Then doing what Richard's lunch one of the mornings, I managed to try to cut a load of skin off off my finger, and had to start his lunch all over again. And then cutting a piece of yarn, let me put my drink down there, cutting a piece of yarn, got the yarn in my hand like that, between those two fingers, missed the yarn and completely cut myself in the finger, which bled forever as well. So shouldn't be left home alone. Okay, so where shall we start? We'll start with knitting. What have I been up to this week? I have one finished object. It's a tiny finished object, but it is a finished object. So grab your drink, tea, coffee, or beverage, whatever it happens to be, whatever time of the day that you're watching this, and join me. My finished object is something that I actually bought at the Southern Wool Show, and it was this little lazy daisy purse, keyring purse kit from the knitting gift shop that was there, and it comes in a little bag with all the yarns that you'll need. These are my leftover yarns after finishing the project. So you get way too much, and you get the little keyring pursey bit as well. It's not very neat on the inside, but you get the idea. Isn't it cute? It's not very straight, but you know what, I love it, and that will sit on one of my project bags with my stitch markers in there. It's gorgeous. It's really easy little pattern to follow. So yeah, that's my one and only finished object. We'll pop it back in the bag for now, so it doesn't get dusty or dirty. Okay, so the next project, I'll show you my sock. I've not made much progress on this because I've just been hopping from one project to another, and whatever I fancied doing. If I've been watching TV, I've picked up a sock. This one because the other ones are black. So there's my progress so far. I haven't started the second one. This is in my own hand dyed yarn, Whole Lot of Rosy. It's just a vanilla sock, 1x1 rib, 1x1 half twisted rib, which I love. I love that rib. It makes it nice and tight around your ankle. I don't like sloppy socks, so I did used to do a 2x2 rib, but I do prefer the 1x1 and twisted rib as well, half twisted rib. Fish Kiss Lips Heel as normal. because I know that fits me really well. So yeah, that's that one. I will be casting on the other sock this week at some point. Yeah, so that's that one. My next one is Richard's socks, which you've seen before. Again, not much progress on these because we went to the Southern Wool Show on Saturday. I've been busy with doing dyeing and bag making this week, so I haven't had a lot of knitting time. But we went to the Southern Wool Show. Who forgot to put my knitting in my bag? Cannot believe it. How can you go to a wool show and not take any knitting? Car knitting. I was princess passenger with no knitting. So there we go. That's his, and they're in the colourway, bear with, I should know this by now, it's called Cauldron, and it's an Attic spin dye yarn. Okay, and there's the colourway. But like I said, he really loves his socks, so I've always got a pair of socks on the needles for him. But they do need a lot more love. I'm back to work this week, so I'll have a little less. I'll have a little more knitting time on my lunch break, but it's like half an hour. It's not like the other place that I used to work, where I had an hour lunch and I could spend all that time knitting on his socks. Anyway, moving on. I think don't think it was the last podcast, a couple of podcasts, the one before that, I think. I said I was going to make the drift tone lace beret, sorry, by Plymouth Yarns. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, so there we go. Doesn't matter if you see the pattern because it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I've cast it on. I haven't got very far. I'm still on the ribbing at the moment. But it's cast on. And that counts as a whip, doesn't it? I had a lady in the comments a couple of podcasts ago who said, blankets aren't whips, you know. I agree, they shouldn't be. Thank you for that. That gives me a head to cast on even more things. Okay. So that's as far as I've got with that one. And that's living in one of my project bags. This is quite an old one now. Here's a little iron. Oh, let's put the pattern back in there. Okay, my next whip. We're getting through these really quickly. I thought I'd be here all day. I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oh, well, I sat down before I turned the camera on and I thought, oh, I've got so much stuff here. But there's not a lot of it that's knitting. Okay, my next whip is the Broken Wing Shawl by Joji Locatelli. I'm sure everyone's familiar with that one. And I'm knitting this in my own hand dyed, and I think, what's it called? Turtle Beach. And it is a 70% baby alpaca, 20% Mulberry silk, and 10% cashmere, 4-ply, 400 yards for 100 gram. And there's my label. And it's so soft, it's beautiful. Let me see. Did I put a stitch marker in? Of course I didn't. I've not done a lot on it anyway. I've probably done about 4 or 5 rows since you last saw it. So this is going to be one of my projects that I work on this week. But look at that, isn't it lovely? I think maybe I'm about, I would say it needs to be, oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably about just under halfway, because it's a one skein shawl. So yeah, I'm probably about just under halfway with it, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a beautiful pattern. Which way round does it go? That's the back. And it's got picot edge, which you can't really see. It's all folding over itself. I do apologise for the light. I've had to move. I was facing the opposite direction towards the lamp in the corner there when I first started, but then the light moved. The sun shone straight onto the front of the phone, because I'm recording on my phone, and I couldn't see you, I couldn't see me, I couldn't see anything, so I would have been videoing blind. So it's a little bit up and down the light. It's a lovely day. It's turned a bit chilly, hasn't it? Proper September weather that we used to have years ago. I expected this year that we'd have like an Indian summer kind of, because we haven't had much of a spring. We didn't have much of a summer. We had hot days, but not many, and mostly rain. So I expected it to be quite warm till about October time, but doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. But I'm embracing autumn. I love the autumn. I love all the colours changing and the trees. Yeah, I digress again. I'm not too keen on the winter. It's too cold for me. I like a little bit of snow, but anyhow, that is living in one of my second Mrs. D bag that Richard got me a couple of years ago now, I think. It's beautiful. Right, seem to have the sniffs today. I think I'm getting a cold. But it is that time of year, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, that's living in my Mrs. D bag, which you've seen several times on the podcast now. My next and last whip is my Irene scarf. I decided to do the Irene scarf too. It's by Sam. I don't know her name's, oh, Samantha Renwick. I just know her as Sam because we speak a lot on Instagram, but I'll link her below. And the pattern is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. This is the Irene scarf too, and with the pattern you get three, I think it's 3 options. I don't know where I've put the rest of it, it's not in the bag. But anyway, I'll cast this on in the yarn that I said I was going to cast it on in when we spoke a couple of, not last podcast, the one before that, and it's beautiful. I really like it. It's coming out really lovely. But then I thought, oh, I want a more autumn colour, and this is a colour by Life in the Long Grass. I don't think, no, I don't have the label for that one, do I? I took my needles off that one and started a second one. And these are my own hand-dyed yarns in, I think that one's Dell, but I can't remember the name, the colourway name of the other one, and I don't have the label there, but I will I will put it in the notes below. I've come to the podcast today with no notes at all. I'm totally winging it, so I do apologise if it's not as standard as should be. But look at that, isn't it? Such a gorgeous pattern. And I think it needed something to show off the pattern a little bit more as well. Although in the green it does look beautiful. I'll let you know if I finish that one or if I decide to finish that one. You'll see it on a future podcast. But I am loving every stitch of that one. It's a beautiful pattern and I think it's just the right size. Anyway, that's living in one of my project bags, so I'm loving that. Watch this space for that one. And then the only other thing that I've been doing this week is making my squares for my Battenberg blanket. And I've done quite a few in different colours this week. So I've got those ones. I've done all of those in that colour. I've done all of those in that colour. And I think about half of those in that colour this week. So not a bad haul. So I'm going to knit up, I'm going to crochet, as I said on the last podcast, everything that I've got, every ball that I've got in these colours, I'm going to crochet them up into squares and then put them in the blanket and see where we are. I'll link them below anyway. And that is all of my knitting and crochet for this week. Oh, have I got any coffee left? Oh, that's cold. Not good. Not good. Okay, so last Saturday, the 7th of September, we went to the Southern Wool Show in Newbury. It was at Newbury Race course. Beautiful site, loads and loads of parking, and it was absolutely packed. Lots of people. The pamphlet was really well laid out. You could find, if I'd bothered to look at it, I would have found everyone that I needed to find. But you know what these things are like. They go into your bag when you get there and then you forget that they're there till you get home. I didn't even realise that there were 2 rooms. We'd been round the room downstairs and we went upstairs for a coffee and some lunch. I think it was about 12:30ish. That's the only thing, that's the only criticism I would have. The queues for food and drinks were enormous, and considering they've got lots of different bars and it's a raceway and race course and they do cater for a lot of people at the races, I expected that, you know, you wouldn't have such a long, we must have queued for 40 minutes. Yeah, I met some friends while I was there. So while we were waiting for our lunch to arrive, I walked down to the one end and I saw Mandy from Mousie's Makes, and she was with her friend Sarah. There was just the 2 of them there at that point. So we said hello, and it was so lovely just to meet in person, because we've chatted on Instagram. Yeah, I met Mandy, who was lovely. She was sitting there knitting, and her friend Sarah was absolutely lovely. And then Nancy, she came along and she had the same gripe as me about waiting 40 minutes for a cup of coffee. And Sue and Tony from Tony Baker Makes, I think she was called, and Anne. again, names Anne. She's on Instagram as well, but yeah. But such lovely people. Knitty people are the best people. Yeah, so we had a chat. I didn't do any knitting. They all sat there knitting and I was really envious because their knitting needles were being worked away and I hadn't bought mine. Anyway, let me show you what I bought from the show. So, and these aren't in any order, but I've got some stitch markers from All's Wool That Ends Wool. And that's their card. I'll link all of these below. This was from the same place I've got the Lazy Daisy purse, the Knitting Gift Shop, and it's for needles, darning needles. Isn't it pretty? Oh, there we go. It's just got one darning needle in there, but I have loads of darning needles. This is my other one that I bought from Yarndale last year, I believe, and that's got a few darning needles in there. But you can never have too many of these things, can you? Oh. There we go. So that was that. I also bought a pattern from Dina's Home of Crafts. It's called the Tumbling Leaves Shawl. It uses 4-ply fingering weight yarn, 2 skeins, but it's beautiful. You just take it out of the, excuse the rustling, you take it out of the packet so that it's not shiny on the screen. There we go. And that's Dina wearing the shawl, so yeah, it's a paid for pattern. I think it was £3.80, I think. Oh, let me just and I just fell in love with it. I'll put that back in the plastic in a bit. And then I ran into the lovely Tracy and Kirsty from Wool and Wishes. I've never met them before. They were absolutely amazing ladies. Hi girls, it was so lovely to meet you. If you watch, I don't know if they do, but if you do. And Tracy, bless her heart, gave me a little pin badge, one of their little pin badges. So that will go on my little bag that's in there, that's got all my pin badges in there, but I've left it on here to show you guys. But they were so lovely, such lovely girls. So yeah, that's that. But it was lovely to meet so many lovely people. I did see Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. Richard pointed her out to me and I just couldn't speak. I just couldn't speak to her. He says, go on, say hello. And I was like, no, she doesn't know who I am. She'll probably think I'm just some strange woman. But yeah, I am silly. Have different personalities and I'm just not too people-y. I never know what to say to people. I mean, I met the girls up in the canteen, Mandy and her friends, and I just got stuck for words there as well. So yeah, some of us are just not that way inclined, are we? Anywho, I digress again. I visited lots and lots of stalls, but I bought a skein from Jo Knits Sew, who I met at Wool at J13. She was my opposite neighbour at Wool at J13, And although I looked and I saw and I squished at her yarn, and I had 2 days, didn't buy anything. I got home and then said to Richard, I never got any wool from Jo. So this is what I got from Jo. And it is colourway Fluoro Flash. It's going to make some beautiful socks. It's merino, yak, nylon and merino, yak, nylon sock. It's 243 meters to 100 grams. I'll put her details, I'll link her shop below. I believe she's got a website. I'm not sure if it's an Etsy shop or a website, but I will check. Then I visited my lovely friend Kelly at Life Family Yarn, who is gorgeous. She's absolutely wonderful. Had my hug because you have to get it's obligatory hug from Kelly when you meet her. And this is their label, and it's a zebra sock yarn, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon high twist, 400 meters, and it's called Sweater Weather. Oh, it would make a lovely sweater, wouldn't it? I should have got more. That's probably going to become socks. I could always order some more online and then use this one for socks, couldn't I? But that is that. And then I got some minis for my Cozy Memories blanket, because like I've said, I'm putting minis in there. And this is one of a kind set, classic socks, 75% merino, 25% nylon, 20 gram minis, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minis in that set. So I have a few there to be going on with. I mean, I usually would get my minis from Kelly at Life Family, but when I saw that sock yarn there, I had to have that. Has to be done, doesn't it? Has to be done. And that's it. That's everything that I bought at the Southern Wool Show. I did forget to take photographs while I was upstairs with Mandy and the crew. So apologies for that. You just get in awe of things, don't you? And everything kind of washes over. And I enjoyed my day. I did take a few photos and a little bit of footage, but not much. So I'll pop that in right at the end. There isn't much at all. I just enjoyed my day. I had a lovely day. It was so amazing. Yeah, that was the Southern Wool Show. I'll be going again next year. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was lovely. Very well organised. Absolutely wonderful show. Okay, so that is... Oh, no it isn't. I'm really sorry. I bought one more thing at the Wool Show. And it's probably the biggest thing and my biggest purchase that I bought there. I bought a loom. I fell down another rabbit hole. And I bought a samplet loom. It's an Ashford. Yeah, an Ashford loom. I've already, varnished it, put it all together, and I've had a little go. Not much of one, but it's a table loom. There we go. Where's the way over? It's a small table loom, and you can just sit it on your lap and do it there. Once you've got it all set up and you've got your waft, is it called, on there. Once it's all set up, you can just hold it on your lap there and just lean it on something, or lean it on the edge of the table and sit back. It's very portable. And it comes with the 7.5 gauge, what's it called? Yeah, 7.5 gauge, one of these. I had the name there, it was there on the tip of my tongue, and just as always, it fell out of my head. So I am intending to purchase the 10mm one. This will do DK chunky wool, no, DK wool, and the 10mm one I believe will do 4-ply, and I have a lot of 4-ply, so I shall be purchasing reed. It's a reed. So I will be purchasing the 10mm reed to go with that, and you get 2. As you can see, I've already had a little go, and I've still got some yarn on here. This is just some acrylic that I've just been playing with, that I've had in stash for a very, very, very long time. So yeah, I am going to have so much fun with that. And I did a little thing. It's not very good. It's a little bit open, shall we say, but it's very soft. I always look at these things and think, oh God, they look really hard. But that was my first little go. And one of the reasons I ended up stabbing myself with my scissors, because as I reached down to get the scissors to cut this off the loom, I stabbed myself in the finger. So Richard had to cut it off for me in the end. Yeah, so that is everything that I got from the Southern Wool Show. Enormous rabbit hole to fall down, I know. Oh, but it's so good. It's really, really enjoyable. So watch this space for that coming in the future. Some of my own weaved fabric. If you've got any suggestions for patterns for a cardigan or a jumper that I can knit in DK yarn, I've been looking on Ravelry. Everything that I pick is for 4-ply yarn. I think I've found one cardigan so far that was for a DK yarn. So please help me out if you've got any suggestions for patterns for DK yarn. Pop them in the description box below. And that's everything. I'm going to show you some shop update now. So if you're only here for the podcast, have a lovely week. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I'll see you on the next one. And I will just reach. No, I won't. I'll actually have to get up and fetch. Ooh, because they're falling over. Okay, so I'm having a shop update this evening at 6 p.m. And in our shop update, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yarns. 4 of those are new colourways, 1 is an old one. But I've sold out of that, so I'm replacing that one. So this is Beetlejuice. And these are all on 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. There we go. Beetlejuice. We have, this one's a DK. That one is 4-ply. The rest are 4-ply. This one is a DK, but I do have this one and I haven't bought it down. Don't know why, but it's exactly the same colour in 4-ply. And this is called Poinsettia. This one is a DK, and it's so squishy. 85% superwash merino, and 15% nylon. 225 grams to 100 gram skein, that one. But isn't it gorgeous? I love it. Very Christmassy. Very Christmassy. The next one is lime juice. Now I actually dyed this as a Grinch colourway, but then realised it needed some red for his hat and a little bit of white in there. So this one's not the Grinch, this one is lime juice. But it would make a good Grinch because it's quite tonal. It's quite a tonal yarn. Don't know if you can see the colours properly on here. This one is a tonal black. I've never done a black yarn, but it's very tonal. And this one's called Black Sabbath. Then we have Phoenix. This is an old yarn, but we've run out of this one in the shop, so we've re-dyed that one. Okay, then we have some bags. Now this one is a smaller bag, a little bit of, and it's tonal, it's two-tonal, so you've got like a blue-grey material backing with chickens on the one side, and then you've got a natural, I'd say that was natural, on the other side. Detachable carry handle and zip, and that one's, I think it's about 11 inches by 10, that one, deep, so 10 inches by almost 12, it's just under 12 on that one. This one is a little bit deeper. I think that's 11 by 11 or 11 by 12. I think it's 11 that way, 10 that way. I don't know. It's around about that anyway. It's not a square. It's just a bit longer than a square. So I think it's 11 by 12, but the exact size will be on the, well, the approximate size will be on the listing. And that's got forest animals, different ones on each side, carry handle and zip. The next one is a William Morris fabric. We've got the blue and white stripy linen on the bottom, and William Morris fabric with a cotton inside lining, very thick actually. Carry handle, detachable obviously, and a zipper on that one. And I think that is 9 by 10. I think it's 9 that way by 10 that way. This is the biggest bag that I've done this week. 3 little birds, I'm calling this one, because it's got lines of 3 little birds. Aren't they cute? So that is a big bag. Blankets, sweaters, carry handle. We have 2 front pockets on there. Like a fuchsia lining and a red zip. So that's that one. And my last one is this gorgeous, I fell in love with this material myself. I've got some more of this, I might make myself one. Isn't it lovely? It's like a shiny chenille fabric with these. It looks to me like somebody's got paint and just like threw it onto a canvas. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. 2 front pockets on that one, lemon lining, a zip and a carry handle. And that's quite a big bag. Nice big, need to take a sweater easily. Small blanket sweater. And that is it. That's everything that's going into the shop update today at 6 p.m. So if you fancy anything, pop along, have a look. All of your purchases are very appreciated. We've actually been doing quite well in the shop, the Etsy shop, the last few weeks. So thank you all for your orders. They're most appreciated. I love making my bags. I love dyeing the yarns. So yeah, keep me busy. That's it from yewtree.yarncraft for this week. Leave me some comments, especially about what to make with this yarn. I'm really struggling on a pattern to start, and I really want to cast something new on. Yeah, I've got the castinitis. It's castinitis. I think that's what it's called, is it? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you've been knitting on, crocheting on, crafting. What do you think of a weaving loom? Give me your opinions, ideas. If you've got any advice, it'll be most appreciated, because this is something absolutely brand new to me. Like I say, another rabbit hole. I'm still enjoying my spinning, so I'm hoping to do some spinning of yarns and then weave them. That would be good. So yeah, comments below. I'll put everything, I'll link everything that I've got here and what I've talked about in the notes below. So I'll see you on the next one. Have a fantastic week. Bye bye.